All right, good evening. It's 5:30. I will call the August meeting of the Carversville School Corporation Board of Trustees to order. First item on the agenda is roll call. All administrators are present. Board members here with the absence of Kent, and Kathy is joining us remotely. So at this time, I would invite everyone to join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, the first item of business is the consent agenda. Are there any additions or corrections? If none, I would entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. There being no old business, the first item, well, I guess there is, need to put my glasses on here. Policy 5335, the AI policy, this is the second reading.
Yeah, so second reading here, no changes from the first reading. So again, just this is outlining with the guidance from ISBA and their draft language for AI policy that will help frame implementation from here with our AI team. So happy to take any questions if there are, but I would recommend approval.
I do have a question. I guess I'm still concerned that there is no use of the term generative AI in the policy. And maybe we blame ISBA for that, but there's a big difference between using AI to answer a question or to brainstorm than there is to write for you. And I have a real problem with not discussing the potential problems with things like using ChatGPT to generate an essay. And if we're trusting teachers and administrators to have that, I don't know if there are building level policies that we'll eventually look at or not, but I just want to kind of be on the record as saying I'm very concerned about that.
Now, in the first paragraph, it does reference establishing the following parameters and criteria for the use of generative artificial intelligence. I don't know if that is enough of what you were looking for there in terms of...
Not really.
Okay.
Responsible use is really wide open. There's no, I don't know if we ever want to go to the language of prohibition, but I just, we have Ms. Haas here, a former English teacher. I'm sure you have thoughts about how generative AI would be appropriate or not for things in your class compared to science or math or, a place where you might be looking for a summary of how the science works on something to better understand it. So again, it's evolving. It'll change by tomorrow or next week, but I do have concerns.
And that is somewhere where the team, a lot of the conversation has occurred with the team too, and what that team will do within the procedures that get laid out too is what is English, of course, has been a heavy topic within there, and what is appropriate use and what is not, and when is it plagiarizing versus being assistive technology. Definitely going to be a conversation with the AI team as we develop those procedures. Yep.
If I'm an English teacher,
True.
if I'm an English teacher and I'm using Canvas and a student uploaded a Google Doc, when I open it, am I opening it in Google Docs?
From Canvas?
Yes.
You would be opening it in Google Docs because it's
so
still a Google Doc.
I do think even like that is something that comes along. Stephanie sent me something the other day, or Christy, and I opened it in Google Docs, and it was like, this appears to be AI, and it was one of my own quotes, so I know it wasn't. But so I do think,
Be extra smart.
yeah, well, you can set the Lexile rating on when you generate. So then I do think that teachers will have those opportunities to catch more generative things. So I think it's improving on both sides as well. So, but I mean, I appreciate the concern. I mean, if we need to continue to work on the language, we certainly can. But I think the majority of the committee would appreciate your concern and agree with your concern. I think as in the efforts to keep things vague is to try to just see how this progresses quickly.
Susan, do you have any input or thoughts on how you would want to see the language changed?
I think that I know it's sort of cart and horse thing here. Like, I get what you're saying. It's important to have something in place as a starting point. And as long as we're acknowledging that it's probably a policy that needs to be revisited more often than some of our other policies, then I'm okay with that. It's difficult because, again, it's class by class, level by level. I'm not sure, and maybe we can trust that use of responsible. But I feel reassured to know that there's a team working on it and they're considering these questions. But I work with students all the time who are writing, and I see the detriment that comes from relying on something else to write about you when you're the one who knows you. So I'm just concerned, that's all.
Okay, so we have a few options here. One, we could just table until, a future meeting when we've addressed that a little bit more. But we need to have a starting point here, and I think the idea that we discussed even at last month's meeting is that AI is such an evolving topic and will be different than it is even 6 months from now and a year from now. So Susan and I agree that by revisiting that policy at least annually might be a good way to proceed, and then go with the recommendation of Dr. Bokart to go ahead and approve the policy as it stands now as a starting point. So any further discussion? All right, no other discussion. Is there a motion to approve the AI policy on the second reading?
So moved.
Do I have a second? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right. All right, thank you very much. Moving on to new business, the first item there is to consider the Carversville dance trip to nationals. Mrs. Haas and our students.
Hello, my name is Michaela Whitecotton. I'm Carissa Wills. And I'm Cece Cox, and we're a part of the Blue Illusions dance teams. This year, on behalf of our team, we are here on behalf of our team to request permission to attend the 2027 National Dance Team Championship.
Our 2025-2026 Nationals experience was amazing, and today we thought to bring you our National Championship banner and our plaque. Our team took first place in hip hop and game day and earned second place with our jazz at the American Cup National Finals last year. The Carversville High School dance team has once again been invited to compete in the National Dance Team Championship. This year's contest takes place in Minneapolis, Minnesota, February 5th through the 7th of 2027. The contest will take place at the Minneapolis Convention Center. It will have schools representing states from all across our nation. Our team consists of 12 members, and this year we are excited to present our school in jazz, hip hop, and the game band category.
We have a plan for raising funds in hopes that every dancer will be able to attend the contest for free. You will see us in the community working at the MX and Ironman races at Tom's Marine. We have partnered with Wabash College to work at football games and other events. We will, of course, be hosting our annual dance clinics as well as the 26th Crawfordsville Dance Invitational, which not only supports all of our teams, but also brings business to our local hotels and restaurants. The competition will take place over 3 days, where we will be competing in preliminaries, semifinals, and finals. During each round of the competition, we will get feedback from the judges that we can use to improve our routines in each round. It will be a busy weekend filled with many practices and performances. The first part of the competition will be Friday, February 5th, 2027. We will continue to compete through Sunday if we make the finals in every category. We will travel back to Indiana on Monday, February 8th, 2027.
To compete in all rounds of the competition, the dance team is asking to be excused from school on Friday, February 5th and Monday, February 8th. This will ensure that we can travel to get to our destination, attend required meetings for our coaches, and start the first round of the competition on Friday. Our trip has the approval of Mr. Strickland, and he is in support of the CHS dance team representing Crawfordsville at the national championship. All dancers know that they are responsible for making up work and completing tests or quizzes that may be missed during the absences. We thank the school board for considering our request and for your past support of our team. We are proud to represent Crawfordsville High School on a national level, and each day we strive to show what it means to be an Athenian.
Very nice presentation. You always make us proud. Any questions from the board?
If they want to go to Minneapolis instead of Orlando, then
In
More power to you.
February. In February. Yeah. 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 Well, I owe Cece a thank you because she got up early and played tennis with the old people on Saturday. So I'm inclined to give her exactly what she wants and make a motion to approve the dance team trip to Minneapolis from February 5th to February 8th, 2027.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, make us proud again.
Thank you.
You are also free to leave if you want, or you're welcome to stay. Your choice. Moving on to the next item on the agenda is the social media litigation resolution.
Yeah, Stu has worked with us to create this resolution. This allows us to join the litigation against Meta for social media. So very similar to the Jewel litigation that we joined before. So I think I would recommend that the board approve the resolution allowing us to join in on the social media litigation.
Any discussion?
I assume it doesn't cost anything. It's just you're adding our names to a class action suit, and if they win, we get some of that.
Yes, correct. And I'm assuming if, there's a verdict in our favor, it'll be similar to the Jewel where, the money that we received from the Jewel litigation, we use to put in our vape detectors, and it'll come with some sort of parameters of what the money may or may not be used for.
I move to support this, or make a motion to support it.
My second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Next item is to consider the West Central Indiana Joint Services Supply Fund Agreement for Special Education.
And we do this every year. Nothing new in this other than this year the Special Services Cooperative is just between Crawfordsville and North Montgomery. So we did have to make some adjustments in staffing and try to figure out the best way to conduct meetings since Robert's Rules of Orders doesn't work real well with two. But I recommend that the board approve the joint service agreement.
Is there any discussion?
Why is South's name at the top of the agreement?
Well, because your superintendent doesn't read a header. So I recommend the board.
Isn't that the attorney's job?
Yeah. I recommend that the board approve with upcoming revision of removing South Montgomery from the letterhead. And anywhere else it may. Is this the correct one?
The opening section.
Did she send last year's?
This is 2025.
The link is wrong. Go through the drive.
Go through the drive.
The new one is correct.
All right. New business.
So moved.
All right, is there a second?
And I do retract the statements about your superintendent not being able to proofread. Okay.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right. Next item is the Career and Tech Education Joint Services and Supply Fund Agreement.
All right, this is for CTE and our cooperative agreement, and I recommend the board approve.
Any discussion? Is there a motion?
So moved.
My second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, next item is the permission to advertise the 27 budget.
Wait, nope.
Nope.
Library board.
I'm sorry, again, my screen is small, and without my glasses, I need to look down here. So, moving back to library board appointments.
I recommend that the board approve Kathy Steele and Paul Flutter as the Crawfordsville Community Schools Library Board appointments.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. If that was a motion, I don't know that he can make a motion, but
I recommend, yeah.
I make a motion to approve
yes.
this appointment.
And I second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye. You may have to vote on this, Steve.
Huh?
You may have to vote on this for it to pass.
Aye.
Okay.
Yep. All right, moving on to the advertisement of the 27 budget.
Yeah, so this is just generic, just so that we can advertise in the next couple weeks the budget that we'll have the public hearing on at the next board meeting. So I would recommend the board approve this permission.
All right, any questions for Andrew? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Last on this section is the consider student teaching employment contract.
Yeah, so this contract here is just to outline our employee there that you see with that contract is in student teaching. So part of the year, their placement will be in their class as well as a host teacher class. And so just need to outline to meet some state guidelines on his employment. So that is the main piece in there. So we worked with a contract that we have used before and worked with Stu on this as well to outline mainly the compensation that's in there and the work schedule that's in there to align with student teaching.
Can you provide a little more clarification about what's different between this special education student teaching than other student teachers that we've had, such as Stephanie Brummett, who were student teaching while working?
In terms of their own placement, I'm not sure I followed you.
Okay, sorry. Special education, the program that Mr. Gerald is in does not allow him to be paid during student teaching. Other programs do, but in special education, they do not allow. So not only are we short and we need better ways to get teachers, they make it even more difficult by not doing this. So by creating an employment agreement that works around that, but yet the employment agreement gives him his same salary overall for the year. So just Stu and Brent working ways to be caring for Mr. Gerald while also meeting the requirement that he not be paid for student teaching. So, there we go. Sorry.
Would recommend approval of the contract. Sorry.
Any other questions? Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second? Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Moving on to personnel.
Yeah, I recommend the board approve the resignations of Leanna Phelps, Rodrigo Velasquez, and Colleen Fuller. So I think Leanna had an opportunity to go to Florida. She had some family things going on, so this was a good opportunity for her. Rodrigo, we all worked hard to find ways that we could keep him in our country, but he is headed back home for a little bit. And then Colleen Fuller is going to go be an engineer over in the Meta or Lilly project. So she got an interesting opportunity to return back to the engineering field. So all three resignations that I recommend that the board approve.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, hiring.
All right. Yeah, recommend the board approve Sunny Adams as CTE pre-nursing instructor, Ava Cooper as a Hose kindergarten teacher, Michelle Solterman as a Hoover Essential Skills aide, and Mason McVeigh as a Nicholson permanent sub. Very excited for Ava Cooper to start her teaching career. When we learned that Miss Phelps was going to resign with about a week or so to go before school, Normally that's very scary, but right now a lot of school corporations aren't hiring and there are young teachers looking for jobs. So Ava Cooper is a brand new teacher. And we had 5 interviews, and 4 of those interviews were teachers. So definitely a different time than what we had been facing. But so Ava is meant to be a teacher, so it's going to be excited to watch her grow. Has she graduated? Yes. So graduated from North Montgomery and then Indiana State, and graduated Indiana State with honors. So,
Her resume just says to to present.
oh, great.
All right, any discussion? Is there a motion to approve the new hirings?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, we have one retirement of a longtime employee.
All right, Carol Starlin, been with us for a long time, had retired, came back to work with us, and now is letting us know that at the end of the first semester, she will again retire. So grateful for everything Carol does. I know that my wife, when she was dropping our daughter off at Nicholson, just truly appreciated how Carol was always out there doing car rider duty with a smile, and that was Carol. So grateful for that and recommend the board approve her retirement.
Is there a motion?
I make a motion to approve.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, change of position requiring no action from the board.
Yep, just Kayla Gardner was in with the change of the co-op. So I had come to you once saying that we were going to move her from a special education teacher for Wilson to an SLPA. Now I'm telling you, we are moving her back to being a special education teacher at Wilson. Alexis Fenimore, who was working with us already, and this year she was going to be part-time math teacher, part-time math interventionist in the classified world. With Colleen leaving, we were prepared. So our tradition of the last few years of trying to hire a secondary math teacher in waiting paid off very well for us there. So hope to keep that practice going. That's just for information.
All right, thank you. Moving on to business manager report. Andrew.
Yes, thank you. So first off, we have the cash flows report that is in front of you. Sorry for the delay in getting that to you. Just some items of note. Key funds experienced $150,000 decrease during the month, and this is fairly normal for the months between June and December. Rainy day cash reserve did hold steady at $2.9 million, and then we would like to note that the 12-month expenditure rate percentage for these 3 funds sits at 20.64. That's just slightly down from June and is still 32.9% higher than the close of the 25 calendar year. Spending patterns are still expected to stay pretty level to where they are right now, and our year-end projection still remains on track to settle above 20%. Currently, we sit at 22.33 with our projection. So that's a really good view of the near future, and hopefully it ends that way. That would be really great news for us. Second that I have is the budget. So you approved, thank you for approving that advertising. And in the board drive, you will see the calendar for this fall for our budget period. Just some items of note dates wise. August 28th is our deadline to get advertised. So we will be handling that over the next 2 weeks. Then the next board meeting on September 10th, we will have our public hearing for the budget to explain the advertised rates and take input from the public. And then the following board meeting in October on the 18th, we will adopt the budget. We do not expect to have a special meeting unless we have some major changes that come during this period if we have to redo the process. So that's really good news not to have an extra meeting for the board for that. The last thing I have is operations and facilities. So took this over from Dr. Bocart this year. I'm still learning, catching up, getting up to speed with Andy on everything. We've been meeting over the past few weeks. We did meet yesterday with a roof maintenance company, Garland Group, to look at getting our roof maintenance into an electronic atmosphere so that it can be tracked and viewed from anywhere. They're going to come in and do inspections on all of our roofs and tell us what issues we have free of charge. And then that also means that we will have a dedicated contractor if we have a leak that needs to be addressed immediately. It's a 24/7 service. They come out the very next day unless it is an emergency. And then we only pay if we use the contractor. We pay nothing else for this service unless we actually use a contractor. And all of the fees for this Garland group comes from the contractor. The contractor pays the fees. Who's the contractor? AAA Roofing is the contractor that we've been assigned right now. They've already come in and done a few repairs at Hoover for us and performed really well and very well under budget. So we were pretty pleased with that. Just ongoing projects, we did see completion of the tennis courts, the south half of the tennis courts. The gym door replacement project did finish during the summer, and right now we just have one project left at Hoover, which is the playground fence, and that should be going in next week. They gave us a timeline of about 3 days to have that completed. So by the end of next week, we will have all of our playgrounds, we'll have fencing around them for additional security. That is all I have.
All right. Thanks again, Andrew. Good work. Assistant Superintendent Report, Dr. Bocart.
Thank you. So school safety, just an update there. District safety team met today. Amber Newland's doing a great job of leading that team. So today reviewed overall goals for 26-27 school year, went through annual drills, building safety expectations, talked about school safety teams and expectations back at each building. So part of our level 1 safe and orderly environment, it's a key indicator for us as a highly reliable school. So I want to continue making sure that we excel in the area of school safety. Hoover, along that note too, will have so school safety is now under the umbrella of the Homeland Security. And so working through some things there, and we do have an audit coming up next Tuesday from a building level safety aspect. So honestly, just looking forward to what we will learn from that we can extend then into our other buildings. New staff orientation, July 31st. So Dr. Riker welcomed all of our new staff, emphasizing commitment to safe, learning-focused, and fun environment. So it's always a great day and a lot of good energy. And Heather Ford did a great job of organizing that morning with navigating a lot of information, lots of HR information, and getting some people in front of them as well. So connecting some faces, such as our retirement, and some things like that. So allowing some time for them to get in front and see some faces. Kristen Pogue then spent the afternoon with our new staff and provided an overview of high reliability schools as well as our instructional framework with new art and science of teaching. She came and did our level 2 PD and did an excellent job. And so she was back with us for this and again, just did a great job and utilized her well because in the morning she did our administrator and teacher evaluation training. So she was at the high school with that team in the morning and then came over here in the afternoon for the new staff. So with our evaluation training, she did a great job again through the lens of our rubric and that new art and science of teaching framework. So really just trying to continue to collaborate on a shared understanding of our new evaluation rubric with both administrators and teachers. And again, Kristen she hits it out of the park, and it's great information for us to have. I've already seen she leaves us with all the resources. That is one thing that is excellent about Marzano is their resources are take them and use them. They're here to be shared, and so seeing the buildings print off some of the new things she brought, and so that's been excellent to see in the buildings already. Building level leadership teams, Dr. Reicher and I met with each building level leadership team on that first Tuesday, I guess it was the Tuesday back before students came. So discussed our strategic plan and the new accountability model. So teams reviewed our key commitments, discussed how work in each building aligned with those commitments. We believe our building leadership teams carry a heavy load in their buildings and continue to play an important role in leading out those shared commitments. So it was good to have that time with them. and kind of leads into my last piece there. Hopefully that link works for you, because this can be a lot, so you can kind of take a look at it as you go. I'll kind of hit some key points here, but the accountability model we also reviewed with our leadership teams. So this is the new grading system for schools. So that was passed in March by the State Board of Education. So getting back to the grading and the accountability piece that we've been away from for a while. We expect for last year we would receive our first grade probably around November for the 25-26 year. But if you look at slide 2, the breakdown for accountability is in grade bands. It'll be grade 3, grade 4 through 8, grade 10, and grade 12. And then there's 2 areas that each of those grade bands get measured on. One is academic proficiency and growth, and then the other is success indicators. Proficiency and growth, not a lot of new information there. That's kind of your senior typical iLearn, your iRead, your PSAT, not PSAT, SAT measurement there for the high school. That is through credits on grade track with grade 9, and then they look at that following grade 10. So then that's where that grade 10 band comes in, and then grade 12 is on SEAL attainment. So we've talked about the new diplomas as well. So a lot of new stuff that we're continuing to digest and learn and work through. But then the big one that we think is a really good piece of the accountability model are the success indicators. So the things that come along that students can also earn points. So much more individualized. So attendance, students can earn additional points that would count towards the grade for that grade band. Grade 4 and 5, science iLearn, social studies iLearn, WIDA, so our EL language learners can earn additional points. Grade 10, it even gets heavier. They're not all in there. I won't go through all of them, but again, things such as dual credit, biology iLearn, PSAT, if they're meeting the benchmark, some of those things. So there is a lot in there. We're continuing to learn through there, but that certainly side by side with Indiana diplomas and the SEAL attainment is going to be a big piece that we continue to work through this year. So that is your assistant superintendent report.
All right. Any questions for Dr. Bokart? All right. Thank you. Moving on, superintendent report, Dr. Riker.
Yeah, hey, we're off to a great start for the 26-27 school year. I'm grateful for Dr. Bokart and Mr. Nicodemus and everyone who helps make sure that everything was ready for the school year to roll. So that's great. Some good news out of the last school year. So in the first year of the MAC athletic conference, our final standings were our boys were tied with Cascade for the overall. So if you add all the sports together in their placements, so they're very strong, and girls were second. So I think that, we are performing at the top, and nice little Facebook post about that and some great quotes from Mr. Barton that goes along with it. But seeing that even though in some sports we're down, we're up in others, but when you look at the total picture, we're performing at the top of the conference. Enrollment is slightly above predicted, and overall we're above the ADM, annual daily membership for Kent, even though he's not here, for the spring. So that is good to see that we're continuing to stay pretty steady, which really has that in brick and mortar, we're still coming down. Virtual is still coming up a little bit. So overall, ADM is in a decent place. This week we had our first Safe Routes to School walking event. Amber Newland, formerly Amber Reed, worked with St. Francis and the 4-H Extension to prepare our walk and roll event. We had 2 routes to walk to Hoover and then 2 routes back to walk to CMS. And we had CHS cheerleaders and Link crew members help with the elementary routes. I'm grateful for Amber's work on this event and look forward to the few more events she has planned throughout the school year. We did learn that elementary students are more interested in walking in a group with adults than middle school students. So yeah, and Brent and Andrew walked routes as well. So it's kind of interesting because I got to walk the route that I walked in my years of going to Hoover. So very good.
Nice yard signs
Yes, so
around. So
a lot went into putting that there, and hopefully it'll come along. But it was a good event. We should all spend an hour and a half walking in the morning together. So it's good. Yeah. All right. On Monday, September 14th, we'll be doing a presentation for the League of Women Voters and the Retired Teachers Group. So Dr. Steele worked that and put the two groups together, so I would only have to do it once. And inviting the board to attend, if you can. I'll include you on my calendar invite. So asked to speak on the impact of recent legislation and on funding, of course. So looking forward to that talk. In the educational instructional leadership world, Dr. Bocart and I met with the Department of Ed concerning how the accountability model will grade our elementary buildings. So Hose will not have a grade, and then Nicholson will have its grade, Hoover will have its grade. And so that was kind of, we were trying to figure out how that would work with our buildings arrangement. Mr. Nicodemus and I met with the executive directors of the Indiana Association of Public School Superintendents, Dr. Butts, and the Indiana Association of School Business, Dr. Bowling, to discuss kind of a statewide perspective in our strategic planning for legislative past, present, and future endeavors. So, reminder, the next board meeting is Thursday, September 10th, and I am grateful to be an Athenian.
All right, any questions for Dr. Riker?
Yeah, I am very curious how the cell phone new plan is working.
Yep, and I made a note for that, but yeah, I do think we could ask our students, you want to go first, students, or you want me to say what the principals say first? Is it really much different for you guys? Yeah. Yeah, I think Mr. Strickland and Miss Bible report that it's gone very well. I think there's only been one phone collected, so I think everybody's doing a good job with the adjustment. But yeah, so I think that the lunch is probably.
So they can't have their phones from the time homeroom starts, but so between classes. So what about?
That was the last bill.
So what about lunch?
Between the bells.
Period.
I will say it's a little difficult to get signed up for Ivy Tech classes and stuff like that because sometimes students do need information through their phone. Then again, that is only upperclassmen though, so.
Yeah, I think there's an exception for that, isn't there?
There was conversation over that because, yes, for Ivy Tech, you have good old two-factor identification, right? I know it was being discussed. Do you know, Dr. Booker? But, yeah, they're aware of that type of need to try to figure some things out. I think, in general, out of sight, out of mind, and kind of the simplest direction is let's not get stuck on stupid. Right? I mean, we can figure these things out to work with it, but. Yeah, so back to the old days. Get a pass and go to the office to call your mom. So, all right, all of us lived it. So, yep.
Cell phones didn't exist in our day.
Now, how's it going on the energy drink and dress code enforcement? So you'll be happy to know, Mrs. Albrecht, that our new assistant principal is carrying out the handbook as it is written. So, yeah, stop the drinks from leaving, unless it's water, of leaving the cafeteria area in the morning. So, yeah.
How's that being policed? Sniffing bottles?
Nope, just presents, right? Are you sneaking things into your glass? Okay, got your Diet Coke in there. Okay, yeah. Cece would tell me.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Riker. Any other business? Board member communications. Patron comments. Thank you, ladies, for joining us this evening, your contribution to the meeting. There are no other business. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Where's Al Plunkett when you need him? I make a motion to adjourn.
All in favor? All right, we're adjourned.